everyone, welcome to A Godly Home. So today I'm going to be talking about 50-cent school lunches. This is a challenge. This was done by Under the Median and Not Just Carrots. I will be leaving the link to their videos in the description box, and this is a challenge. It's not easy to pack a lunch for 50 cents. So these are kind of some of the thoughts that I had going into this. This lunch would feed an 8-year-old child or younger, in my opinion. And if you were feeding an older child, I would double it. And maybe if you were feeding a teenager, I would triple it. But I think we can all agree that still would be way cheaper than it would be to purchase the lunch at school or some of the things that we may be sending for lunch. This also would make a very inexpensive lunch for an adult that needs to pack a lunch for work or for errand day or whatever that you might be tempted to normally eat out for, and you could double or triple it. All of the items that I purchased, I actually purchased at regular price at my local Hannaford store. I didn't use any sale prices because I wanted this to be something that was easily able to be reached on the price point for anybody. If you can buy it on sale or use coupons, then you could either do it cheaper than this or add a little bit more food to the menu. I'm in Maine, so my grocery prices are probably going to be higher than most places, so also keep that in mind. All of the menus that I did, I wanted to be easy to prepare, and I wanted them child-friendly. I homeschooled my son, so I'm not sure what it's like to be eating in the cafeteria nowadays, but when I was a kid, if you opened up your lunchbox and you had anything in there that made a smell or looked a little different or whatever, the kids would start screaming, "Ew, gross, ew, gross." And then even if you liked your lunch, you wouldn't be eating your lunch. So I tried to pick some things that would not have that sort of a result. Also, I know from doing volunteer work within the church and stuff with the kids, and I'm sure it's the same like in the public schools, they don't really want you to bring in anything with peanut butter or any type of nuts or strawberries because so many people are having allergies to even breathing those things. So no peanut butter, no jelly in this video. Make sure that you remember to check the description box to watch Under the Median's video on this topic and also Not Just Carrots video. And also, let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this. I can do all sorts of frugal food type videos. You give me the topic and I will do it. All right, let's jump right into this. Menu 1. A cream cheese and peach sandwich on wheat bread, 1 ounce of carrot sticks, water with a splash of lemon juice. Now you can see what I purchased, what it cost to make this one menu for one day for each thing, and obviously the total cost 50 cents. After I go over the menu, I will be actually showing you how I made this stuff. Okay, menu 2, 1 English muffin pizza with meat sauce and cheese, half of a banana, 1 ounce of carrot sticks, and 1/3 of an ounce of fruit punch mixed with water. Now, the third menu is 1/2 a Greek yogurt, cucumber, and ranch sandwich on white bread, 1/2 a kiwi, a homemade sugar cookie or any store-bought cookie. We're looking at spending 5 cents on the cookie, so either or, that's your choice. And some packages of cookies you may find will make it so you could give a couple of cookies, just figure your cost. And then water with a splash of lime juice. The fourth menu idea was a serving of chicken nuggets, 1 ounce of carrot sticks, and just water to drink. A few things that I want to say before I go on to showing you how I cooked these things is that if you don't want to make the English muffin pizza, you can buy an Elio's 9-slice pepperoni or cheese pizza at Hannaford for $2.94. That figures out at 33 cents a slice. 1 ounce of carrot sticks and half a banana and water would still put you at your 50-cent point. So it's up to you if you want to do the English muffin pizza or if you want to get one of these Elio's 9-slice pepperoni or cheese frozen pizzas. I personally would do the English muffin pizza because I think it's got less chemicals and things, but that's up to you. And the other thing that I want to just verbally mention is that the chicken nuggets were store brand. I've put that on the paper, but they're store brand. And at my store, that was $4.40. One serving is 3.2 ounces, and that would equal 44 cents. All right, let's jump right into how I prepare these. Okay, for the second menu choice, 1 English muffin pizza with meat sauce and cheese. This is how I would do it. I'm going to put just a drop of vegetable oil right on my pan. And I'm going to take my half an English muffin and literally just spread it like so to get the oil on the bottom. Now the meat sauce I purchased was the Hunt's sauce with the meat because the budget doesn't allow to add pepperoni or anything like that to this. But this will give them a little extra protein. Not that it's a lot, but a little. So I put down that we could have up to, let's see, 1.2 ounces of sauce. I'm not actually going to put that on the scale and measure it. I think, I probably won't even be using as much as that. I'm just going to put a spoonful of this sauce on that English muffin. If you were raised in the 80s and you ate English muffin pizzas all the time, I don't know if anybody does so much now. Put a comment below if you do, because I have actually heard people say lately they've never heard tell of it, so they are delicious. Okay, so I got my sauce on there. Now, for our budget, we are able to use a whole 1/4 cup of cheese. Guys, that is a lot of cheese for a little English muffin pizza. Your kid is not going to be hungry. You wait and see how big this lunch turns out. It's really unbelievable. Now, if your child likes really spicy things, I would give that just a little shake of garlic powder on there. But it's fine like this. I'm going to make it just like this. But if I was actually making this for my son, who is now 18, he would want a splash of garlic powder on there. All right, I'm going to pop this in my toaster oven and go ahead and toast this. Mine's actually the Emerald 360 Chef, so I'm using the pizza thing. But you go ahead and use your toaster oven. You can figure out how to cook a mini pizza. Okay, I'm doing 375 for 5 minutes in this. All right, while that is cooking, that is what 1 ounce of carrot sticks look like. and a half a banana. So once that pizza gets on there, that's a pretty full plate. How would I package this up? Well, you have several choices. You could wrap the English muffin pizza once it cools into a little piece of aluminum foil. I would put a little piece of saran wrap over the cut end of the banana to keep it from turning. And then the carrot sticks, same deal. I would just use a little piece of saran wrap to wrap those in. You can put it in a brown paper bag. You can put it in a lunchbox, a Tupperware container, whatever you have. If you don't have the aluminum foil for the pizza, I have a tendency to save bread bags, and I just shake them out, and they're good to pack sandwiches and things in. You could put it in a used bread bag and for the pizza instead of the aluminum foil. All right, let's get on to how we would make that peach and cream cheese sandwich. This is one of my favorites and so frugal. Okay, on that cream cheese and peach sandwich, if I picked this menu, then I would actually mix this up and use from it for the whole week, because there isn't really a good way to be doing this one sandwich at a time, but you mix it up in the mixing bowl and then you make the sandwiches from it throughout the week. All right, so 1 package of store brand cream cheese. You've probably seen people do this with cream cheese and cherries before, but the cherries actually, in case you're thinking of that right now, thinking, well, I want cream cheese and cherry, it puts it way over budget. The cherries are about $1 more than the peaches for less cherries. So this is a great deal. And don't throw away your peach juice. You could even use that, some of that in with the water for one of the drinks if you don't want to use lemon juice, lime juice, whatever. There's just so much that you can do with that. Okay, popping that whole brick of cream cheese right in there, which is easier said than done, especially reaching around the camera. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we're just going to take these peaches right out. Just pop them right in there. Okay, all the peaches are in there now, and I'm going to just blend this together. Okay, guys, I know that that was loud, and you whip it a long time like that until it's pretty smooth and pretty creamy. Let me get rid of these beaters, and I'll be right back. Okay, I always put this on wheat bread. It just tastes so much better on split top wheat bread. Once again, we're not going to measure this right out, but we're going to go ahead. Let me get you so you can see here, and just dish this out onto the sandwich. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to eat this. Okay, then what I like to do with these sandwiches like this is cut them. And I like to cut them into triangles. You'll want a good sharp knife for this. Now this sandwich can be a little bit messier. I would suggest don't put this one into a sandwich bag. I would suggest putting this into a Tupperware container, the shape of a sandwich, one of those that fits kind of close so it's not sliding around. And I would refrigerate this for a little bit, the filling, before spreading it on the sandwich. In real life, I would make that earlier in the day and put that in the fridge. But take a look at how good that looks. Okay, and with this menu, you also got the 1 ounce of carrot sticks. And this would be a good time for me to show you how I do the water with the lemon juice. So the water with the lemon juice, I just use this. This is 50 cents at my store. And if your child likes things sweet, give them a sprinkle of sugar too. But my son always liked it like this. And then just give a little squeeze in there, and that's it. I mean, that doesn't even cost enough to count it towards our budget. All right, this is a little cup that I'm reusing. This was back when my son was little. I don't even know if they make these anymore, but this was a store-bought drink. The belly washers, and we saved the thing and we washed it out, and he always used this when we left the house for his drink. And even if you don't have something like this now, you have some sort of a bottle that you can reuse to cut the cost here a little bit, where you don't have to go buy a special thermos or something like that. But that's what we always used. And so that's another good size lunch. I don't know. That might be even a little bit too much for a younger kid. So, all right, let's take a look back at how that pizza is doing. So here we are back with the mini pizza. Look how nice that turned out. And I am going to just pop that right onto that plate so you can get an idea of how much food that is. That looks pretty good. Now this menu included a third of an ounce of fruit punch in with the water. Use any juice you've got. They're all priced about the same. This is literally just a couple of splashes of juice. Why do this? Well, if you've got a lot of people to feed, you can't afford to have them be just wading through juice jug after jug, but they get pretty tired of water. And this is a trick I always have done with my son. And in fact, now that he's 18, he does this all the time himself. He doesn't even like the taste of regular juice. So I'm just going to take that and just pour that right into that cup of water. And you give that a shake. And you can see it's got a pretty decent color. And it will taste really good. It won't over sugar them up for school. And it will give them just a little bit of flavor. And they'll like it. And you can even switch which kind of juices you get each week. You know, I think with these menu ideas, you can really take these frugal ideas and run with them and change them up, you know, and customize them a little bit. Make it a little different each week so it's not exactly the same thing. I do want to say that I cut the banana at an angle rather than straight across. I think visual is a big thing when we're doing these. All right, we are going to get into how we make that 1/2 of a Greek yogurt and cucumber sandwich and show you how that's done. Okay, for this cucumber and Greek yogurt sandwich, you guys are going to love this because this is real life and you can't make this stuff up. I just went to get my Greek yogurt out of the refrigerator and somebody ate it before I could do the video. So I'm going to substitute mayonnaise. I intended on this to be Greek yogurt. Get the Greek yogurt, but you know what? If you don't have it, substitute with what you have. Okay, so pretending this is Greek yogurt, going to put a good heaping spoonful in. Now you can use just the Greek yogurt or you could use just the mayonnaise. If you have a little garlic powder, then you can do this up ranch flavored with just a little sprinkle of that and a few little parsley flakes is all it takes to make a ranch. So this has been a great thing that we've done throughout the years when I was raising my son, just to kind of change things out a little bit without being expensive. But it's good plain too if all you have is the yogurt or the mayonnaise. So we're just going to stir that up. I have a piece of white bread in the toaster oven right now. Now you're going to use 1/8 of a cucumber for this. And what I like to do without really taking off any cucumber is go along and just take off little strips here and there of that skin, because what that's going to do is make a real pretty design. And once again, I think that making the food look appealing when we're on a tight budget is very important, because we don't want ourselves or our kids feeling like they had less than somebody else. Okay, now watch when I cut this up after taking that little bit of peel off, how pretty it will look. Of course, it would help if you could see how pretty that looks. Okay, toast is done. I'm going to cut this toast right in half on the diagonal. And we will go ahead and put our little ranchy mayonnaise or ranchy Greek yogurt on there. If it's mayonnaise, I would use a little bit less than the Greek yogurt because it's not like it's adding any nutritional value. What I liked about using the Greek yogurt was it gave a little extra protein, you know, and things there. All right. Now I'm just going to go ahead and lay these cucumbers on. Okay, and I'm going to salt and pepper this sandwich. Okay. All right. There's the sandwich, and with this menu, we were including a half of a kiwi and a cookie. Just a minute, I'll be right back. Okay, now my husband insists all the time of leaving the skin on the kiwi because even though we think it's not edible, it actually is. So that's up to you. I will leave it on just to show you that it can be done. All right, if you're leaving it on, cut that end off, and you're going to have to cut down in there a little bit. That goes deeper than what you think. And then the other end you can cut straight across. And then I would wedge it in half again. Okay, and for the cookie, what I chose to use was from the Dollar Tree. You can get these, and I chose these just because I already had them on hand. I didn't want to buy any cookies from Hannaford. So breakfast blueberry, you get 9 packs. So that would be 10 cents a pack. So we're going to use half a pack. And there's the cookie. Of course, if you made the cookie, you would have a thicker cookie. All right. So, and on this one, we did the water with a splash of lime juice. The lime juice is the same as the lemon juice I showed you, only it's lime. So we will just put our drink right here. And there's that option. Fourth menu, as a reminder, was the 1 serving of store brand chicken nuggets and the carrot sticks. I did not buy those. Everybody knows what a serving of chicken nuggets is. So I just wanted to remind you that that was the 4th menu. Okay, guys, like and subscribe. Let me know below if you want to see more videos like this. Bye. Okay, guys, I got a few final thoughts for you. I'm looking at these 3 lunches I just made, and I'm the only one here, and I'm thinking, wow, this is way too much food for just me. Like, I'm second guessing the double the lunch for an adult thing or triple the lunch. One of these lunches would be plenty for most women for lunch. All right, this has been a fun video. Bye.